G'day everybody, my name is Elliot Waters and you're listening to the Dysregulated podcast. As always, thank you for tuning in. Alright, just a quick little check-in. So today I'm going to the doctors, the GP, that is next. And I'm going to get hopefully some blood test results, which will include looking at my liver to see how my liver is travelling, because when I was at ISMU and before as well, I had marginally elevated liver enzymes, but the sort of concern was that, it was the sort of results that you would see with someone who drank a lot, and I don't drink, and I still don't drink. So a little bit confused what's going on there. Could be the plethora of medications that I'm on. I'm sure they're doing, I'm almost certain that they're doing some sort of, I don't know, damage is the word, but, it puts my system under stress having all these pharmaceuticals. So I would not be surprised if it's the combination of all my meds and maybe playing its role. The other thing that I'm going to be interested in seeing is if it is elevated more than it has been previously, because the introduction of kava, which has just about changed my life, has been great, but there is some research to suggest that kava can be quite taxing on the liver. But the research that tells us this doesn't distinguish whether people are drinking alcohol with the kava or I read one the other day. I think maybe they all drank alcohol. So there haven't been many tests. What I'm trying to say is there haven't been many tests of kava on its own to see what it's doing, because potentially with alcohol, it potentiates the problems with the liver. They come together and then cause a bigger problem than what they're like on their own put together, if that makes sense. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Anyway, they potentiate each other, potentially. But the good thing is I don't drink alcohol, so this may not be a problem for me, and I hope it's not, because I am drinking gallons of the stuff, because I have been very nervous, very anxious lately, and the kava is definitely helping. It's not, it's not a magic pill, that's for sure, but at the same time, it is one of the best sort of coping substances that I've got that isn't detrimental to my well-being overall. Next up, after the doctors, I have a black dog presentation to give, which has been a while. This is a pilot run of this new presentation. I've got it up here. What's it called? Supporting Your Young Person's Mental Health Presenter Guide. That's what I've got here, what I've been looking at. 60 minutes, including questions at the end, face-to-face or Zoom. So the aim is to recognise when a young person may be struggling with their mental health, to provide strategies around having conversations and supporting a young person, and to know where to get help and find appropriate resources for young people and their parents/carers. So that's the story. The learning outcomes are as follows. 1, how to make sense of adolescence, which is hard because I'm still trying to figure it out. Number 2 is identify the signs of mental health struggles. Yep, pretty good at that now. 3, understand how to support your young person. And 4, know where you and your young person can get support. So that is coming up after the doctors. 60 minutes, I tell you, I'm a bit nervous. I'm a bit nervous because, this presenter guide, it goes for pages and pages and pages. It's not a presenter guide, it's a script. And essentially, the idea is that I read from this script. Now, traditionally, that's not how I've done my black dog presentations. And when I went to Sydney a couple of weeks ago to do some training around the new mental fitness presentation, it was much the same. You read from this script, and the opportunity to showcase my living and lived experience has dwindled a lot. And that's where I think the magic of these presentations are. Where to get support, how to have a conversation, that's good, and it's great. But then to be able to marry that with these personal experiences, these real, authentic experiences, that's where the real magic, I think, of this is. Otherwise, what's the point of having someone with lived experience giving these presentations? You should just get, professionals, clinical psychs to do it instead. And that's the thing, see, with today's prezzo, it's me and a clinical psychologist. So I don't know. I don't know if we're veering away from what has made these presentations so good in the past, which would be disappointing, but we'll see how it goes. I am very, very nervous though, very nervous, and I can just see that everything's going to fall apart. It's not good. I don't know. It shouldn't. It's all here. The script is all here. It should be easy, but for some reason it makes me really, really, I don't know, I'm really concerned. But anyway, we'll see how it goes, and I will report back after, of course, to you guys to see, if it's viable for me to keep doing it moving forward, because I'm not sure. I don't know. It might be. But I'm finding that I'm a little bit overwhelmed. Well, I'm always overwhelmed at the moment, and something like this, for example, has really rocked me today, and that's not really good. So I don't know if I want as many of these things that rock me, or maybe, though, I need to do those things because that's what, toughens you up, strengthens you, a bit of mental fitness, that sort of stuff. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is a pilot study, so there is opportunity for input from me and from the audience who are listening. So we'll see how we go. But anyway, that's later on. So fingers crossed. Now, let me think. What else was there I was going to say? My memory's bad. Geez, my memory's bad at the moment. Really bad. I don't know what's going on there. I might have to look into memory issues and Carver because, well, my memory issues were happening before the Carver, but it's definitely gotten worse. I'm not sure if there's a correlation there, if there's an association, causation, I'm not sure. But I'm going to have to look at that because these memory things, it's becoming a real big problem. Moving on from that, more good news. I don't know if I've told you, hence the memory thing. I don't think I have, but I'm going to be nominated for an award at the university, which is pretty cool. A alumni community award thing. I don't even really know too much about it. But basically the award is for former students of the university who have gone out in their communities and are trying to achieve good things for said community and the people that's in it. And my supervisor at uni, he said he read, I got the email as well and just sort of glanced over and was like, hey, whatever, boring, deleted it. But he got the email and actually had a good look at it and thought, geez, I reckon that sounds like you, Elliot. And he messaged me that and said, what do you reckon? And I said, well, I suppose, I don't know, give it a go. It'd be good on my resume if I did win. So that's happening as well. He's writing up this big thing about how great I am and all this stuff that I do, which is pretty cool. And all of it's actually factual and real. There's no making stuff up. This is a big document and it is actually things that I do. So that's pretty cool. And I got to say, just quietly between you and me, I had a look at the winner from last year and the profile that the university wrote about him. Like, hello, I would have smashed it last year, and I'm hoping that'll happen this year, because the previous winners, from what I could see, they've done stuff in the community, but they've been paid a lot of money to do it. I don't get paid. I do this for free. I volunteer my time and my efforts, because this is something that I really believe in, trying to improve mental health outcomes in our communities. That's something that I really, really, really hold dear to myself and to my heart. And I don't get paid for any of this stuff. That's not true. I'm starting to now. The university work I am. And some of the Every Mind stuff I am too, which is good. But traditionally, I've been at the Black Dog Institute for 10 years and I've never gotten paid, and that's fine. It's all good. So I don't know, fingers crossed. I'm hoping that maybe I'll win. Maybe I won't. That's fine. But the fact that he, who is a respected senior lecturer and very respected by me, and I'll definitely be getting on the show at some point, the fact that he would read the nominations list and think me, that's pretty cool. That in itself, I don't know, that in itself is enough, I reckon. That's pretty cool. But anyway, so that's happening. The actual work at the uni's sort of slowed up a little bit because I've done sort of the work I needed to do on the project, the men's health intervention project. That's all sort of wrapped up. Sorry, I've got a bit of dry mouth again because I'm getting nervous about this Black Dog preso that's coming up. Every Mind, had a meeting with them the other day. The Lived or Living Experience Advisory Group. We got together and looked at some things that they're doing, which is really cool. So I love that. And there's a bit in the works. There's a bit going on. I still haven't had the confidence, though, to apply for these jobs that I should be applying for. That's the only thing that's a bit of a problem, is I haven't got this resume out, and, maybe I'm just waiting to win this award. I don't know. No, but I don't know. I need to get over that and just do it. Even if I have to do it with my eyes closed, whatever. Just get my name out there, get back into the process of being in the jobs market and feel comfortable about that. And then hopefully it'll all work out, whatever that means, whatever that looks like. Good news is what's today? Today is, Wednesday, isn't it? Yes, it's Wednesday. And so that means the weekend's just gone, and that means the weekend after 5 a.m. shifts is just gone, and I'm happy to report no sweats. I did not get a case of the sweats and feeling like my world was ending and uncontrollable anxiety. So that's so good. No sweats. I avoided that massive problem that I've been having the last couple of weeks. I don't really know how I avoided it. I didn't sleep for 48 hours. I only slept for 24 hours. Maybe that's part of it. I forced myself to be awake and do some things, like the Newcastle Knights played at home on the Sunday, and ordinarily in the weeks gone by, Sunday I'd be asleep, but I forced myself to go to the game, which was good because we won, which is great for my mental health in itself. But yeah, I avoided the sweats, and that's so good, because I've been so nervous that it was going to happen again, because I don't know. Now that I've got through this week without it happening, I think I'll feel a bit more comfortable about talking about what happened last time, because I haven't done that episode yet, and I didn't want to do it and then have to be like, oh wait, it's happened again and worse again. So now that I've sort of got through that initial sort of hump, I'll do that episode soon, because it's terrible stuff. Again, the last episode that I'm talking about, I'm referring to, that I haven't done a podcast about yet. I'm telling you, it was the worst moment of my life. And I'm serious when I say that. Forget the breakups and stuff, although they were pretty traumatic. It was the worst. So, yeah. So I'm glad that did not happen for the weekend just gone. And now I feel a little bit more comfortable talking about it. All right, that's it from me, because I've got to get to the doctors. The doctors rang me and said they were running half an hour late. Really good that they rang and told me. I was in the car about to leave. But now it's me that's running late. Surprise, surprise. So I better get going. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I really do appreciate it. You can follow me on Instagram at elliot.t.waters. And you can give the show 5 stars. You can share it around with your mates. There's a whole stack of things you can do that would make my day. All right, thank you, everybody. And I'll see you next time here on the Dysregulated podcast.